How is it going, everybody, and welcome to Nerd Talk. Be advised, if you're seeing this on YouTube, I just want to point out a few things. This is a podcast amongst us four. You can see us on the screen. If you click on any of our faces, it will bring you to the individual's YouTube channel, so you can watch all their great videos and see little recaps of the podcast. Down at the bottom row is our topics for today. If you don't want to hear every single one, you're welcome to click on any of those topics, and it'll fast forward to that part. Also in the description is timestamps to the spot, so you can follow them that way. Briefly go over what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be, since we're all making YouTube videos, how has YouTube affected the games we play, and how many games we play and how we play them. Next, we're going to talk specifically about Battlefield 3, maybe go into some other games there, but what's our typical play style? Has that changed from anything? Just how do we like to play Battlefield 3? Next is going to be general gaming, and that's talking about rank-up systems and unlock systems and what we think about them. And of course, this podcast can always be seen live at the Twitch channel listed in the description, and we try to get as much involved with the audience as we can to hear their opinions too. Okay, we had a few technical mistakes. We're back, we're good. That intro is like my third time saying it.
Very polished.
Yeah, I thought it was better than it was the first time. So, okay. So let's get started, I guess, right? Enough dilly-dally here. We've had some issues. We're only 15 minutes late, though. That's not that bad.
That's alright. That's alright.
You can show up to a job interview 15 minutes late and still get the job. So.
See, there you go. Submit the DRMB now, guys.
Alrighty. Alright, so our first topic, as I said, is going to be talking about how has playing YouTube affected, you know, how about the number of games we play? And we'll start off with that, and we'll go into some other things. So if you guys want to, one of you wants to start it off, because I've been talking a lot.
Sure, I actually, I'll say something. I tend to only post multiplayer games, so when I play single player, it means I'm playing games that it's not going to get used for footage. So unless I have something really funny, I'll be recording the entire thing. Like Portal 2, recorded the entire gameplay, like 7-8 hours. It all got deleted, you know, it's whatever. Now I'm not really worried about making YouTube videos. So it doesn't really affect a whole lot. What does happen is if I decide I need clips from an old game, that's when we run into problems. Like yesterday I decided I need some clips from World at War. That was painful. I'll tell you, that was painful. Do
you still have a membership, or do you have old video to sort through?
No, I put the game back in and went and dealt with all the hackers and managed to get enough clips. Call of Duty World at War.
Yeah, I was thinking WoW, like World.
No,
I don't know why.
No, I never played WoW. So when you got to do things like go back and get old clips, that's, oh my gosh, that's terrible, and it really does feel like work at that point. Otherwise, like we said before, just always be recording and go back and cut out the good stuff and have it for later.
So
there's not a whole
YouTube
lot
hasn't stopped you from playing other games. You still mix it up with a lot of the single-player games.
Oh yeah.
What about you guys, Puppy Culprit?
I'll go. YouTube has stopped me from playing a lot of games. Just to be quite honest, it's not so much that like I am dedicating my time to YouTube to say like, I want to get the videos out. I want to make sure everyone on my channel is all focused on the one game, or yada yada yada, or be like time and have a multi-game channel. It's nothing like that. It's just the investment cost of starting up kind of bit into the normal budget of what I would use to buy the games. So right now, I'm a little short on cash. Normally, I'd be buying games left and right just because I'm all about trying new things out. I have probably a good 75, 80 games that are about 50% beat.
Right.
It's just, yeah. So it has limited the amount of games that I play. Definitely.
Culprit, what about you?
Yeah, I'm lame though. Like I'm YouTube and how I usually play are pretty similar. I usually am like a one-game guy. I focus on that, and then I'll move on. I'll dabble in other things, but YouTube. I mean, I'm still pretty new to this too, so like I haven't done that big transition. Some of you guys maybe from like Bad Company 2 to Battlefield 3. That's what I haven't done that yet. That'll be interesting. Maybe Medal of Honor or whatever. But it doesn't really. I mean, I just don't have time because of life, because of kids and wife and all that, more than YouTube. Will YouTube affect my next game? Yeah, it probably will. I can't say it won't. I don't know. I'll still play other games. Like I still play Minecraft, and I've Splinter Retribution. That's the channel. Blacklight Retribution. Things like that. I record them. They'd have to be. I don't know. I just don't think it's unless I'm going to put out a bunch of videos. I don't think it's worth putting up on my channel. if I'm just dabbling in. But it hasn't affected me yet, but it will. I can see it will eventually.
You know, see, multiplayer for me, I'm sort of a one multiplayer guy typically, because it's pretty hard, I think, realistically. Especially, I don't think any of us get the time to play every single day. Sometimes a little bit, but it's very hard to transfer between different multiplayers, you know, just having different sensitivities to be really good, you know, to be effective, especially making YouTube videos. But I like to do good, you know, even before I made videos, I wanted to do good, right? So I was typically a one multiplayer game guy, but I typically played a lot of games. And I feel like for me on YouTube, I mean, I'm not even that active on YouTube. The last 2 weeks, I've only put out our podcast, and I'm, you know, want to get back, and, sorry about that, and want to get back into it, but it's definitely decreased the number of games I play, like, dramatically, because, I mean, editing for me takes almost as much time as gaming, you know? For one of my, like, tactical breakdowns, it takes me 2 to 3 hours, like, on the low side. So, it's been, it's sort of a bummer for me.
I think you asked me, like, what other game, like, I almost see YouTube as a game. Like, Battlefield 3 is my game, but YouTube's, like, almost the prime game for me, like, where subs and views are like KD and score per minute. It's like, I'm that focused on it.
How am I stacking up? How am I stacking up?
And, like, as much as I put into, like, how to be a great medic and how to play this mode, I'm also trying to figure out, like, how to get mastered on the YouTube search engine and get the best tags and stuff like that. I'm weird like that. Like, I obsess over things. I enjoy it. It's geeky, it's nerdy. That's why I'm a nerd. But I enjoy it. I really do. And it's easy to enjoy when it's going well.
Yeah.
As I start to hit my first hurdles and stagnate a little bit, as I've done lately, it gets frustrating. But that's just like any game at the same time. So, I mean, YouTube is kind of my big games.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, I think we all enjoy it. I mean, I don't think any of us do it as like a job, you know. First of all, we're not making that kind of money at all. So it's not like, well, I mean, I am, but you small-time people, no. I put out one video a week in the last 2 weeks, so big money there. But it's definitely fun. But just like Battlefield 3 right now, it's sort of like I'm not excited to play it. I'm sort of like that with YouTube. I'm not excited to make a video, so I don't. And I think that's something a lot of people differ with. But Captain Obvious is in the chat saying he plays more games, and he didn't put why. But I think some people, if you do a lot of Let's Plays, I could see it making you play more games. But I think in most, it's like, you know, you're like, oh, I want to make a video, so I want to not play a game, like, I want to make a Battlefield 3 video, but I just got Mass Effect 3, well, I can't play Mass Effect, you know? And I think that's what I was sort of expecting to hear, because that's sort of what happened to me, is I look at a new game, I'm like, hey, I want to play this, I'm like, shoot, I have not made any videos in 2 weeks, I should probably get back into Battlefield, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, there's a big question with Black Ops 2, because as not so excited I might be for the next Call of Duty game, if they have an awesome theater mode as a video maker, the appeal of going to that and that large of an audience is just amazing, because the theater mode with the dolly cam is fantastic.
Yeah, especially in your hands, I could see you doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the hoping we get some kind of spectator mode or something with this new matches thing with Battlefield, but
it's not going to happen, man.
I don't either. I don't think so.
It's not.
I'm hoping. Not that I'd do anything with it, but some of you guys would.
Oh yeah, I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
See what I can do.
Like, I don't know. I think when I pick games, like what you're getting at, I don't like. Obviously, when you use the word like profitability or views or whatever, that doesn't really kind of sway me anyway. It's just a matter of, like, I can barely play Battlefield 3 right now. How am I going to find time for another game? So I am kind of committed to Battlefield 3. I've, you know, hitched my wagon to that as far as YouTube. Right now, eventually I'm going to have to make a transition. Hopefully not for a long time. But I would probably almost like a guilt. Like, I have all these subs that want to watch me do videos on Battlefield 3, and here I'm going to go jump into Skyrim or any other game that might catch my eye. DayZ's blowing up huge right now. It's intriguing me, but I don't have time to do that right now.
The same for me.
It definitely affects it, but it doesn't control it. But it definitely comes into the decision making.
Yeah.
But it's probably more real life than YouTube right now for me, honestly.
So what about just total gaming time compared to before you guys started YouTube? Has that gone up or down? And I think this could go either way, because like it could go up because you make videos, or it could go down because you spend so much time making videos.
Well, I think for me, YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep guys speaking up, but. If I didn't have YouTube, I would have burned out on BF3 a long time ago. I mean, that's just the honest truth. Because, you know, meeting a ton of new people, podcasts, just digging deeper into everything. I'm playing over the long term a lot more. Because otherwise I would be like 20 hours a day for 2 months and then burn out and be gone. But on a day-to-day, no, like you said, I put in just as much time on a daily basis, editing, answering comments, networking, whatever it is. So that definitely cuts into your playtime. So, I mean, this podcast tonight, Friday nights are one of my big nights to game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm not complaining. But these things do cut into your game time in the short term.
Personally, I find that I tend to play just about the same. I stay up a little later so that I can work on videos and stuff like that. I'm getting less sleep.
Yeah, a lot less.
But I'm not pumping out videos every day. I mean, you guys know that I pump them out maybe once or twice a week. So it's no big sweat off my shoulders or nothing like that. But I tend to play the same amount just because I feel like if I don't get that playtime in, I'm like a crack addict. I just get the shakes. Give me my games.
That's how I am right now. Right. Yeah. I haven't played since Sunday, I think, and yeah, I'm dying to.
Yeah, just gotta play.
Yep.
So for me, it's all about playing with friends, and if they're on, I'm playing. It doesn't matter if I have a video to edit or what, or if I'm playing solo, I'm probably not going to play a whole lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
It's whether or not the friends are online, and it's pretty much decides how much time I play.
And
and
see,
then
that's
video
actually
editing comes after that.
the appeal to YouTube and stuff was that, like, especially for me in personal life. I'm in medical school. I'm a personal trainer. Given there's probably a lot of people game in those areas, but not that I know. So it's like my real life is not gaming at all. Like, I don't think people know I game much. It's not something it's not something I talk about a lot. So it's like coming to YouTube was awesome in the fact that I like to be able to interact. And so the multiplayer, that's the appeal to that. But it's like right now, it's like usually I think I would play multiplayer more, but I sort of get burnt out because I'm playing the game, then I'm editing the video, so it's like double the game time for me.
You watch every gameplay 20 times.
Yeah, and I'm rewatching, so I sort of get burnt out easier, and I felt like YouTube, I guess because sometimes there's a little bit of pressure, it's like, and this is what happens to me personally, and we're going a little off topic, but I start putting out videos, and I'm like, okay, I need to keep up the videos, and then when I sort of stop, like I have lately, I'm just going to take a little break. But the appeal, like you guys said, YouTube is a game. It's like a multiplayer. Like, that's why Twitch, I love coming on here and we can chat with people. But I think YouTube has made me play less total games, and I think it's actually made me play, I don't want to say less, but I think it's made me play in cycles. I sort of go gaming, no gaming. And that's something I didn't do as much. Before, sort of like I'd play on the weekends, and that'd be about it. But now I'll sometimes get playing, and I'll be like, man, once I start getting good in Battlefield 3, like if I take 3 days off, I'm not good anymore. I'm not as good anyway. Not that I'm a pro anyway, but it's just, it's pretty funny how it's affected me. Like, it's put this cycle effect into it.
Yeah.
But
For me, if I stop posting videos for more than a week, it's really hard to get back into it.
yeah.
I have to make myself do it at least once a week.
But once you start, it's sort of like, it's just like when you get back in the game. It takes a little bit. Once you get going, you're going.
I just love that rush of putting a video up, and you get those nerves every time. You never know how it's going to go over. And then I've had really nothing but good things. I've had a couple run-ins with some bad reactions, and then you're just like, oh, this one's going to suck, or I got a little too personal. And then everybody likes it, and it's just, that's addictive, man. And it's kind of scary addictive, to be honest with you, with my obsessive personality. And that's why, people watch my channel, they think I game all the time. I really don't. I just get every mile out of every gameplay I can to, that's the best thing I ever did was in the beginning was just upload bad gameplays so that people got used to seeing me not be a beast. And because now I can use just about any gameplay I get. As long as I find something relevant in there, I'll use it. I have to. But I feel more of a drive to put a video up every day than I do to game every day at this point. And it's not about the views, it's not about the subs or anything, it's just about, the interaction and hearing the feedback, I guess, the feedback loop. I'm, all about that right now. It's kind of sad. But it's fun. I'm enjoying myself. So, I don't know. But like you said, Scott, I don't have anybody really to talk about in real life about gaming. I'm 34 years old. I have 2 kids. And nobody wants to hear that. My wife does not want to hear that anymore.
Oh, dude, I talk to my wife about it anyway, man.
She has
She has a headset on, and he's just talking. She's like, oh, yep, okay.
My buddy, he hears. I work with him every day, and he hears it too. I don't know if he's in here tonight. And he's kind of a gamer too, but not as much as me. But
at the same level.
He's still gotta get sick of it. We're in a truck all day together. He doesn't want to hear it. And then he's like, well, how's your wife so supportive? 'Cause she's sick of hearing it herself. Yes, honey, go do that podcast. Go ahead. Get away from me, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's an outlet. You want to meet gamers, and I have. I mean, it's amazing the people I've met through this in a couple of months. That's the best part by far. And the gobs of YouTube money, but
Yeah. All right. So, any other closing topics on sort of how YouTube sort of affected total amount of game we play or game time? Anyone got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right, good. So we will move on to our play style. Now we're moving to a more Battlefield 3 centered topic. And I mean, I guess first, well, yeah, we can all talk about our play style. I don't really know what the ranges of play style are. Some I can think of offhand is like a Slayer, a supportive player, and that can go. That's a sort of a broad topic, I guess. But
camper.
Just talking about a camper, yes, vehicle whore, and those aren't bad. I think I put vehicle whore on anyone who uses a vehicle a lot, but I mean, there's vehicles, and we've talked about it.
Like me now.
You got to use them if they're there. You're gonna lose if you don't, So, yeah. Who wants to start this one off? So to talk about, and this isn't what play style is better. Just what's your play style, and then we'll hear from the audience and sort of get what play style do you guys have, and how does it work for you? Do you mix it up, anything like that?
I'll take the lead on this one.
Please do.
Yes, I'll take the lead on this one. No, I have a very aggressive play style. Like, I know, like, you hear that a lot. A lot of people are like, I play aggressive. No, to me, it's like, I've been playing first-person shooters ever since there was first-person shooters. And if you guys, like, I don't know how many people in the chat there were back in the days of the arena shooters and stuff like that. But back then, like, the way to do good was to constantly be pushing, constantly be moving. Don't stop, because there was no cover. They hadn't figured out that, hey, cover works. It was just go, 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 running around, the halo jumping, flying around, stuff like that. The head glitches weren't there, really. It was just, running around being crazy. Yeah, I think I'm saying GoldenEye. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I'm thinking about, too.
So, like, that's where I came from with that, and, is constantly, like, just got ingrained into me as that push, 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 and then I find that since I've been doing it for so long that I'm still doing that, even though now there's, like, cover and things like that, and I have to kind of try to slow down to, try and take advantage of it, but generally, like, I can get top of the leaderboards. I have no problem doing MVP, no problem at all.
Big shot over here.
But I want to say that you will never see me with any KD like time. He's always got wicked KDs and things like that. I will go out there MVP with like 20 and 30 deaths.
That's kind of more my ilk too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the way I play because I just push too hard. I can't help it. I don't know, if you had to classify it, I know they got Slayers, objective players, support players, and stuff like that, and I'd have to say that I wish I was a Slayer, but I just don't got the talent.
Well, doesn't everybody think they're a Slayer? I mean, everybody's like, yo, I'm a Slayer. Get off me, bro, I'm slaying. It's like, no, you're not, dude. You're playing TDM on a rush map. I mean, that's what you're doing.
They're calling you out, Puppy. They want to know how many MVP ribbons you have.
I have. I think I'm up to 1,800 right now.
No, you gotta take an hour to consider. We need some ratios going on. I need some Excel sheets. Let's break it down, people.
Wow. That's on, dude, are you serious?
Matches to MVP ratio.
Yeah.
It's all about it. Right
obviously,
you know what? I tell you what, I can get MVP most of the time, but lately I've been playing a lot with Notable Aardvark. I've seen him in the chat section there, and I can't beat him.
He wrote, and then I join your game. A Notable Aardvark. Right?
And then Notable join. He'll join like mid-game and still beat me in the end. I'm like, I don't know how you do it, dude.
Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah.
I've gotten.
Oh, God.
I'm ranking out my MVP two medals now. Yeah.
Well, you'll be doing a video about that next, I guess.
So, I'll go next. I'm sort of
just get a beast.
I think I'm a conservative. I'm a long title. Conservative, objective player, but to a fault. Like, I am one of those guys who... I sprint a lot, which is sort of... I don't think I'm that aggressive. Like, I sprint a lot, but I think I slow it down. I try to play smart. I try to go around corners slowly. But I'm always sprinting. And that... Whenever I'm doing bad, I have to tell myself, don't sprint. Because that's pretty much, like, my main issue. Is I just, like, sprint, and I'm always caught, like, sprinting, so I can never get my gun up quick enough. But I'm also objective to a fault in the sense that, like, when I see one of those EKGs and I want to go get, I revive people like crazy. Like, I just see, I'm like, oh, an objective. It's right in front of me. There's an MCOM. I know there's no teammates around, and I see a lot of red. I'm just going to run to it. And I do that so much, and it's sort of like, like you said, you have to slow down, but I don't think I slow down because I'm too aggressive and too, like, charging the enemy. I'm too running towards objectives blindly, like, and that's something I really have to work on. But I think I change up my play styles, and I don't know, you sort of seem like you're set in one, and I think sometimes I actively change. Like, sometimes, like, alright, I'm going to play really slow today, or sometimes, like, man, I'm going to pull on LMG, and though it's not like a run and gun, that's how I typically play them. I'm just like, I'm going to sprint in and just hip fire that thing like crazy. So I think I change up a lot, but I think my main play style is probably that objective-oriented guy. Scott is using big words, but really means he is a camper.
Blah, 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 I can't.
Blah, blah, blah,
No, I think I'm on the front lines a lot. But.
Nah, see, my thing was, I mean, I was, like I said, and when I was in Black Ops, I was the guy that was like, no, man, I'm slaying, I'm disrupting the other team. I was terrible, you know, but you don't know what you're doing, so that's what you think you're doing. And now I've gotten into Battlefield 3 YouTube, you analyze everything a lot more. And it's funny, like, the more I get the skills to actually be a rusher or a slayer, whatever you want to call it, the more I slow down, the more I see that I need to, like you're saying, Scott, I wish I played slower like you do. I still do the bad run around corners, I push too hard. You know, I might get a triple kill, but then I look around and I'm surrounded by the enemy because I've overextended. You know, now I started hip firing. I never used to do that like an idiot. And so now I have the skills to rush, but yet I'm trying to teach myself to stop and slow down. So, I mean, as far as YouTube and like recording myself, it doesn't really change my play style. I'm just trying to do the best I can, frankly. So I'm just trying to find my play style and play that. Yeah. But I think there's definitely, that's why I kind of like playing with a squad of you guys, because, you know, Pup's the tip of the spear, we'll call it, and he's running in and fighting. You're a little slower. I'm kind of in between you guys, I think. So we kind of rein each other in a little bit. You're like, whoa, slow down. All right, come to the right. You know, that kind of thing. Wait up for me, guys. You know, so that's why groups work. You know, because you kind of look around, and if you don't see your buddies, you know, you either got to speed it up or slow it down.
Yeah,
that keeps me reined.
I think playing in a squad like that communicates well can affect your playstyle in a really positive manner, because you start to adjust to what the other people in your squad are doing, and that like helps you sync up. But before you go time and talk about yours, I want people in the chat, especially some of the people we've talked about who are, I know some of you all might be really great, but some that we've seen and played with, like Captain Obvious, Notable Aardvark, you guys who are just tearing it up. What do you consider your play style? And you can leave some feedback there, and we'll get to it. But
so with me, one of the things I have to say is that I got good at FPS in Halo 2, and that game was defined by the battle rifle, and that still influences what I try to do now, which is essentially make my presence felt on as large and central area of the map as possible.
Yeah.
That's why you see me running Assault and Recon so much. To be fairly accurate, medium to long range, and make everyone have to deal with me wherever they try to go. Playing a lot of Call of Duty, you start to appreciate the choke points a little more, and so that you see some of that too. Primarily, you'll see me trying to push up, get a ridiculous line of sight, and abuse whatever longer range capability I have. And I've shown a variety of that gameplay, but I'm not looking to sit in the back sniping as Recon. I'm looking to get as far forward as I can and still have the kind of range that gives me that advantage with those kinds of weapons.
I agree with you there. I've noticed you're like, if there's anything, like if I watch your gameplays, after I watch anything you do, I will know where the power positions are. Because like I don't know what it is, you just kind of like, it's like ingrained into you, you just kind of already know, alright, if I go here, I can kill everyone this way. They're all dead.
Pivot point,
you don't stand a chance.
He makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
Him with tugs and a PP2000, and he'll just
destroy everything.
You try to do it, and you're like a .3 KD. You're like, he makes it look so easy. So frustrating.
So these are a choke point thing, though. That's
definitely positioning changes everything. And I think any playstyle sort of to be good, and that's why I started trying to get some feedback. I was sort of as we're going, I'm thinking like, you know, I think all playstyles are probably beneficial in some way. You know, like the objective-oriented slayers, I think do matter. You know, if you need someone who doesn't have to care about the objective, if you kill the enemy team, I mean, the other people can get to the objective. But,
I don't know. I'm just blindly killing anyone you can find. It doesn't do anything for me.
Or like a disruptor role, I think.
You really have to prioritize targets and areas. It just
as far as like BF3, I think like a Slayer would be more like cutting off reinforcements. I mean, that's kind of, you know, yeah, I hate the Slayer term, but
Yeah.
there's some form of that, I think, can be. I'm actually the video next week on that. That's why I'm commenting.
So
shameless plug.
To go on just a little bit more on this topic, do we think, and is there an ultimate play, like the best play style? I mean, I feel like, I guess, I don't know, I'm just trying to drag this out a little bit more, this topic, because I feel like we didn't hit everything, but it's I feel like a squad, you need everything, right? I think you need,
Yeah.
I don't know, actually, as I think about it, I feel like what I was going for earlier is like, when you get, if you're a good player, not calling anyone good right now, but when you get good, I think everyone's play styles, everyone's play styles sort of like mold together a little bit, but I think like someone who's really good is going to focus on the objective. They're going to fall back and play supportive when they need to. They're going to be aggressive when they need to. I feel like that's probably one of my issues. I'm not.
Right, it's a hybrid. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife type guy. Yeah, you gotta have the skill set to do whatever, fill the holes, basically.
Yeah.
The more people who can step into a different role when they need to, even for just a short while, the better off the team will be.
Yeah, because you never know who's going to be up, who's going to be dead when that tank rolls in. So that guy that's dead's got to be able to jump NG and get the job done. You can't really overplan it. So that's what I'm trying to train myself to be. I mean, I am terrible at sniper, but I should probably train up to be decent with it. You never know, you know, or what kit you're going to pick up when you're on that 10 kill streak. It's always a bolt action rifle.
What piece of wood you're gonna get? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, it's never something good. It's just, but you know, don't get too many 10 kill streaks anyway.
I don't know. I personally appreciate playing with anybody that's like all three of you guys. Like I will admit right off the bat, you know, as far as like you guys all mentioned, you know, meshing game styles and whatnot. I can't do it. I can't play around other people's game styles. So I appreciate that all three of you are able to pull that off. Just because otherwise I'm out there getting that 20 and 30, you know, game. But when I play with you guys, I tend to actually go positive.
It's because I revive you all night.
Yeah.
Puppies in the everyone bring defense.
Yeah, we're not allowed, guys. We're not allowed to run anything but the defense.
Yeah, everyone's gonna carry defense.
No, but I mean, it's like I have certain limitations that keep me from, you know, being able to actually like, all right, my team's here, my team's here, unless they're making like active callouts, like you guys tend to do. I mean, like I'm not saying you have to adapt to me. I'm not saying you guys do that. I mean, you guys are giving me the callouts like, oh, I'm over here and I'm heading it over here, and that's enough for me. You know, so I mean, like, yeah, I can totally understand how meshing gameplay really helps out. Plus,
yeah, I think as long as that's understood, it works. You know, it's like, I guess you on a pub server like that in that situation would be a lot harder. But guys that kind of know how to play with, you know, it's easy. You kind of know, don't count on Puppy to go sit on a hill with a bolt action. Yeah.
You know, so I had some reading. We got like notables saying, you know, analyzing the situation. Both blank and obvious came in with like action, and a few people are saying stuff like that. Aggressive. Well, yeah, aggressive, and I think that's where it comes back to. You take a good player and you analyze them, which okay, culprit did a plug. Here's a plug. I'll be doing some analyzing of other players soon, whenever I get back into YouTube. But that it becomes like you have to be aggressive, because if you're not up in the action. And a sniper can be aggressive from far back if you're really good. President mentioned Locklear, and if you guys watch Locklear stream or play, I've never seen anyone snipe like him in the world. Like he just, I mean, he plays close quarters and bolt action snipes, you know, and dominates.
Every time I watch this stream, it's like watching a new episode of something that like Sergeant Enigma or somebody put out. It's just ridiculous.
I'm thinking, not to call out Enigma,
but
I'm thinking you put Locklear against Enigma, and Locklear's gonna poop on him. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, any regular game of Locklear is like a highlight reel from Enigma. You know, I'm not trying to bash Enigma. No. Don't get me wrong, but I can't do either of them. So you know, but I am thoroughly impressed with Locklear. Like I'd be.
But so what is playstyle, going into playstyle, I think even him, it gets to this point when you get good, and I didn't really think about this when we picked this topic, but it's like you start out with different playstyles, and maybe in Call of Duty it's a little different. You can have different playstyles, you know, but in Battlefield it's like, because it's so, the game modes are different, you know, and Capture the Flag, let's go to Call of Duty and compare these for a second. You know, you have like defensive people, you have flag runner people, you have, and I'm in the competitive scene, you know, you're going to have someone who's playing defense. You're going to have someone who's playing like mid-men, support men. You're going to have people running the flag. And they're going to be sort of goals and, you know, your objectives, and you can switch it up. But in Battlefield, it's sort of more so many people that you have to, like, you have to mesh a little bit. But that's when we're going to these people who are saying, like, action, aggressive. You know, it's like there's not, I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think Battlefield 3 limits your playstyle to be effective. You have to be, killing people, up in the action, trying to go for the objective. Like, you have to sort of do it all.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely
know.
do. Well, I think we talked about this in another. Me and you, Scott, were saying how like time can carry a team. He'll go 30-3 and lead the way. And Puppy, you're more in that shadow the same way. Whereas I said to you, and you agreed with me, I think that I'm not the type of guy that's going to carry a team to victory, but I'll be the guy that fills in the holes, does the dirty work. I think you need those guys as much as you need the quote-unquote slayer guys. And,
well, yeah.
like you said, and I think that's what Puppy's saying, is that, not that he's just going to blaze a trail and everybody falls in behind, but he's only so good as the support guys, not the support class, but the guys,
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what team is. You can't all be slayers, and that's what pissed me off about COD, because everybody wants to slay. I'm a slayer. No, you're not, man. You're a 10 and 12 douche.
Yeah.
But it's but as long as you have, and I enjoy that. Like I said, I don't mind that at all. I don't need to be the guy getting MVP 1. I don't need to be even positive if I'm MVP 2. But I just want to win.
Yeah.
I hate losing. So I think that's what it is. You gotta have that balance of guys that are gonna do the gritty work, and then the other guy. You need the guys that are gonna kill, obviously, too. So.
Yeah. But when it comes to being aggressive, good players need to know when to push their advantage and how to do it, and I think that's one of the things that really does define good players. And we saw in the PTFO tournament, when a good team knows that they've got a squad wipe and they can push forward towards the spawn point, that really defines a win in a lot of cases. I mean, so knowing when to be really, really aggressive, that makes a huge difference.
Well, I think you're touching on more. I mean, is another leadership. You need someone that kind of, like you said, can recognize those opportunities. And playing as a squad, especially, somebody pushes forward, it's going to be like the Ducklings. Everybody kind of follows them up. And as long as you have, it always seems to work out that somebody's kind of leading, even if it's not agreed upon. You need someone that can definitely recognize those situations, and that's when you start to steamroll.
Well, yeah, you can't have too many chiefs in a squad either. I mean, if everyone's trying to call shots, your squad's going to fall apart. You need just one real person calling shots, even if they're not always calling the best shots.
So, when I'm looking at playstyles in Battlefield 3, now that we've been talking about it, I keep trying to go through it in my head. I mean, I'm seeing like for players who are going to do well, I'm seeing like two playstyles, and that's the ones who are like front lines, really getting all the kills and maybe grabbing objectives. I think that's included in there. And then the guys who are like, getting the revives, watching the flanks, So I'm seeing like the I don't know what, the front line and the support. And supports are the guys who are like, okay, I might not get the kills, because I think you look at really good players, they're going to be on the routes that have the most action. You can leave these vulnerable routes out, and I feel like I typically take those. I'll be like, all right, I'll watch this flank. I don't always get as many kills, but I feel like, okay, those 1 or 2 kills I got, like, really help secure the victory, or at least the victory in a timely fashion. They didn't get behind us. They didn't get a spawn beacon there. They didn't do all that. And I think, but like, really, I don't know. When I think Call of Duty,
about the difference between good players playing just solo in pubs or as a team.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of assuming a certain level of teamwork. It's just pubs can be crazy.
Yeah.
But I think, look at the PTFO tournament. I mean, we all had our favorites of like the superstar guys. But a lot of the times the matches came down to the subs and what level those guys were, if they were able to plug those holes. I mean, just about, there was one really good guy in every team, but a lot of the matches were decided on the grinder guys, the subs that came in and did the dirty work. So, you got to have a well-rounded, I mean, a 12-man squad, what do you need, 1 or 2 kind of superstars? And I'll take the rest guys that are willing to adapt and cover flanks and, revive, that kind of stuff. I think they'll be, 10 slayers any day.
Yeah, that's true.
That's debatable.
I didn't
10
say
people
puppies.
who think
I
they're
said 10 slayers. I didn't say 10 puppies.
All right, what are we thinking? Anything else in the playstyle topic? I guess we sort of beat that in Battlefield. Yep. All right, moving on to rank ups and unlocks. And I think this one, going general gaming, it's got a lot of, we'd love to hear your stuff, but to start it off, something I was sort of thinking about when we talked about this topic was like, it's just crazy how rank ups and the unlock systems have progressed so much in, just like the last 3 or 4 years. And I think a lot of people, when you hear a new game, a lot of people like demand it. They're like, man, why can't I change my clothes? Why can't I do all this? But I think my opinion, and I don't know that's fact, and love to hear everyone else's opinion here, is if you go back like let's go back to COD 4, which I think in the Call of Duty community, not everyone agrees, is probably one of the best Call of Duties. I don't know that I personally agree, but I think it's generally accepted as one of the best Call of Duty. You know?
I didn't play it, but that's pretty much what you hear.
Yeah, that's what you hear, and it was a lot less. The kill streaks, oh my gosh, they're fun changing them and stuff, but it was like, you keep it simple, and I think things stay more fair, more balanced, and that stuff sort of helps. As you add all these crazy things, and you get to these crazy unlock systems and all these trees, I think you have so much, it's hard to not have something that's overpowered. And we could talk about, we've mentioned overpowered before, but so like, if every gun's the same, there's no point in having more guns, but the more, it's sort of like a crazy system, and I guess to start it off, we could just discuss, what do we think? Is it better or worse? And going more into that, with the rank ups and stuff, how about when you compare something like Modern Warfare 3, I'm just using it because, we refer to Call of Duty a lot because it's just so popular, and I think most people can understand.
It's contemporary.
Yeah, but it's like, where it's ranking up, you get to pick what guns you want. I rank up, I get COD points, I'll buy the good guns I want, and then compare that to a system like Battlefield 3, where it is, you get a gun at a certain level, and then, use that gun and get more stuff for it. And then go back before that, when you used a gun and you had all the stuff for it, you didn't have to unlock different things. It's crazy how much it's changed. So if we can, it's a big topic, but do we think it's better? Which ones do we think are good? What do we think could be better? And then, of course, everyone here in the chat, please chime in and let us know. But who wants to start us off?
Sure. The thing I like about unlock systems is that they make it a little less confusing if you're new to a game. You have fewer options, and hopefully the options they give you are reasonable and good. And so you're not, like, if you have to set up your own stuff, you're not going to make some really stupid choices because you have no idea how the game works. That's the benefit I see. Outside of that, not a whole lot other than, skins, camos, and just bling to make your stuff like, hey, I've played this game a whole bunch. That's as far as, you still have stuff to unlock after you've spent 5 hours playing the game. That just drives me nuts. It's like, I don't want to have to spend more time doing this stuff in order to get these things. Like, okay, I want this particular sight for my weapon in Battlefield 3. How many kills do I need? Do I need to get 100 kills with that? If that's the case, I'm going to have to go into some TDM on, like, No-Shar and just sit around and grind those out to get what I want.
So before
that
we
drives
go
me nuts.
Deep into it, just on the, is it better? You're one for you like simple, quick unlock, so that after you said, 5 hours, you want to be, you got everything, you're good to go?
I don't want to, and if it's like COD points and I have to buy it, sure, fine, whatever. As long as I can get what I want, just like that, go play a game, you got enough points, you can have what you want. Good enough. If I'm sitting here playing hours and hours trying to get the weapon and the attachments I want, it's just annoying.
Here's the thing, is like Battlefield 3 has this infatuation with these really tiny iron sights, So it's like I know the FAMAS is one. What's one of the new ones that it's terrible. So what does it do? You see guys laying in a corner, aiming down sights, because they can't aim with the iron sights. Mostly they need like 10, 20 kills, but it's like they're encouraging you to play badly. But whereas like if you have COD points where you can theoretically get them from getting the objective and whatnot, at least they're not encouraging people to play in dumb ways. So as a system-wide, I think I like the COD points way better. But I don't really have a problem with the Battlefield 3 way, but I think the whole kernel system is just a waste of time. I think that's silly, 50 levels of kernel, for what point? I kind of wish I could prestige in Battlefield, because I probably would just do it just for the hell of it and restart all over again.
So what about how about time to unlock and unlocks with guns and stuff? Did you specify, do you like sort of how long it takes? Do you wish it was shorter? Do you have...
Essentially, once I know what they do, I don't want to have to bother, spending time specifically to get something. That's my thing. If somebody was like, oh, the M26 with a heavy barrel is overpowered, be like, oh, let me throw that on, even though I've never used it before.
Yeah.
I know what it's going to do,
I kind of like that it rewards you for using a gun, but yeah, I just don't, like you said, I don't feel like I want to grind with that gun to get a red dot sight. There's got to be a balance there somewhere. Maybe through points, I don't know, but maybe cash in kills, I don't know, but some of them are ridiculous. Like extended mags are 200 or 300 kills or something. And you're like, The MP5K. No, that's not one of them. I think it's an LMG or something. It's just like ridiculous amount of kills to get an extended mag.
Yeah.
And you're like,
so before you go, Puppy, we got a few people in the chat who actually are saying they like the BF3 unlock system. Obvious mentioned that COD points take out the BS, and I sort of agree. We'll get to that. We're still just I want to first start with how long it takes, if we're happy, want it longer or shorter. But I like the idea. We'll talk more about the idea of how about picking your certain guns and stuff. But yeah, I was just trying to catch in, make sure we're keeping up with the chat. Good, Puppy. You want to go on your opinions of?
Oh man! All right, so I like purchasing systems. I am a huge fan of the purchasing systems. Like,
bring up Homefront.
Dude, well, actually, I was thinking about throwing it back further than that. Counter-Strike. I mean, like it didn't have like a career path, but like you played match, and every kill you got, you earned money, you buy more weapons, or whatever. They didn't have attachments at the time, just because that game development wasn't that well done. But I mean, like, and when games like Homefront and things like that, and Call of Duty and Battlefield didn't really do it, but games that had that monetary system to where you earned cash or whatever it was, points, and then you went and spent them. Like, to me, that was kind of cool because it made me feel like I was actually doing something with like it made me feel like more a part of the game, I guess is the best way to put it. I didn't feel like such a bystander, got to go out there and, all right, I really like this gun, but I don't like this sight, so I got to go out there and get X amount of kills with this gun to get this sight and things like that. That's for that specific reason I liked the point system. And I know Ty mentioned as far as the customization and the extra things being a little blingy and a little cheesy and things like that. To me, I liked that. I liked that kind of stuff because I mean, even with like to bring it on back and to mesh it all together, with the getting to Colonel 100 in Battlefield or Prestige, whatever the hell in Modern Warfare 3, I don't even remember what it was. I got to the Prestige 15 in Black Ops. I did get that. I mean, like I like to set goals for myself. I feel like it helps me get at a sense of accomplishment if I'm able to pull it off. I haven't pulled it off every game, but like right now I'm working on Battlefield 3. My goal is to get to Colonel 100. Once I get to Colonel 100, I'm going to have to set myself a different goal. But without it being there, I would find myself having less things to set goals for, and then the game's longevity to me would die. I mean, like, I played Black Ops until I hit the 15th Prestige, and I have every weapon gold camo. I mean, just because that was my goal.
Bad Company 2, you were done at, what, level 24? You had everything, Magnum ammo, and then, like, I forgot what it was, but you were just like, all right, nothing else.
Good to go.
Yeah, you were set.
Yeah, so. I mean, I like things where they do it like that, where they, I mean, corporate, like you said, if there was a chance to Prestige in Battlefield and get rid of every gun you had just to go unlock it again, I'd do it. Just because, they don't even have to give me anything for it. Call of Duty gives you the little special Prestige thing or whatever. They don't even have to do that to me. Just send me back down to rank 1, let me start over, and let me do it again.
If they would let me, like, make a second account, I would do, like, a Road to Commander type thing in Battlefield, for sure. Like, and just go through all the beginning unlocks and stuff. But, like, I respected guys at Prestige and Black Ops a lot more than I do, like, a 70 Colonel. Like, what did you do for that? You did nothing. You have all your unlocks. You just grind it. You play a lot. That's all you do. At least, you watch Puppy's video, and you ground the hell out of this week, right? But at least in Black Ops, like, you gave up something. Like, oh, wow, that guy is just killed himself 13 times, but there was some respect there, and it was like, okay, it was prestigious. I felt a little bit. I enjoyed it. Each time I'd kind of unlock things differently, and, just kind of, it was almost like find the most efficient way to do it. But in Black Ops, Battlefield, it's like, like I said this in the video, I have no idea what my level is. I got the first Colonel, and then you're done. I was like, I mean, obviously you're grinding away, and I'll feel a sense of accomplishment if and when I get to 100, but I'm not paying attention to it, really.
So I got plans for 100.
What about, I'll chime in. I want to move the topic to something else, but, I feel like I'm sort of with time. I don't know, I like having unlocks. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I like trying to get more kills with different guns. I think it's more fun to do and adds excitement to the game. Sometimes it sucks, I'd like to be able to buy things. Like, sometimes, like, man, we'll use the FAMAS again, because the iron sights were really bad, and for someone like me who sort of struggles with accuracy, like, man, I would like a sight that I'm comfortable with, real quick, it'd be nice to be able to like pick. And I really, really did like Call of Duty's, you know, COD point system where you get to buy stuff. But to take this topic a little further, do we think all these unlocks, not just which one do we like more, but is it good for gaming? Is it, I feel like it adds more fun, but I think a lot of people, as we sort of mentioned in the beginning, might be under the assumption or sort of agree that it takes away from the balance of the game. In that, you know, it's sometimes, you know, you rank up higher, you have better guns, or you take a longer, or how about going to Battlefield 3? This is sort of an issue for me. A few people have said, well, you have the M16, who needs unlocks? Because it's so early. And that's a good point, and I guess that's a nice...
That was the best thing they did. That was the best thing they did, was make that... That took all the balance issues away by making that, and you know, the first gun.
Think about all the customization, and the way you got foregrips, and you have heavy barrels, and all these things affect it. And I think a lot of gamers don't stay up on that kind of stuff. And even I don't well, but I try to, sort of following YouTube. But do we think for the general populace, is that beneficial for gaming? Or maybe I'm sort of thinking it's good in the sense that it's fun, but these things aren't explained well, and I feel like in the game, so I feel like it takes away from gaming because it makes people who just spend more time researching it do better because they know the good combinations, whereas all these unlocks, I think personally, takes away from balance, takes away from fairness.
I'm going to say go ahead, Doc.
Part of what you're getting into is that the devs don't actually tell you what the stuff... I mean, it tells you what it does in the game, but they don't actually explain the rather complicated gun mechanics.
Battle outright wrong.
Yeah, and you have to basically, I think Symphics the reliable place to go if you actually want to know how the game works. Go ahead, Culprit.
I was kind of going to hit on the same thing. I said, you know, I'm torn there because the lack of information is good for me, the YouTuber. You know, obviously it drives people to us. But yeah, I was going to say the same thing. They don't tell anything in Battlefield. And it's not like they're trying to be mysterious. They're just lazy in that regard. And Battlelog is just wrong. I mean, I don't know if they fixed it yet, but in the beginning you read things and they would be outright wrong. And you're just like, that is not true at all. But I forgot what I was even going to say, so somebody might have to take over. I was going to have another point, but I forgot now.
Well, Puppy,
we were talking about balance, though, and they did a good job in the recent patch making it so that you did have a bit of a choice. There was, you can make the weapon a little better in these cases if you add this to it, a little better in these. Most people tend to gravitate towards the same few options, especially the Cobra sight. But when are you not going to use it for most things?
Yeah, most of the unlocks are garbage, let's be honest. I mean, you use 3 optics. I mean, unless you're sniping, that's different. But, I mean, you really do. Cobra, Red Dot, Hollow. I mean, that's all I use on anything. If I'm mid-long range, I'm going Hollow, that's it. But I think, like Scott touched on, like, I think all the better gamers cite COD 4 as a great game. Well, COD 4 is pretty simple by today's standards. So I think most of it, or even go back to Counter-Strike, or, you know, the advanced gamers almost cite the more basic games as better balance. I think all these unlocks, all the skins and camos, that's for the casual gamer. They like all the bling, they like all the things we regard as silly, you know, and then have no. So you're saying, is it bad for those, like, I don't know what the word of casual gamers, I guess. I think they're the ones that they're doing
stupid choices.
Yeah, and they like it
anyway.
You know.
They find some way to make. But
yeah, their gear, you know, they just want their fancy camo and stuff, and it's silly. But
I don't think just being uneducated as a gamer, and I think the general gamers are, just because they don't know about YouTube or they don't have the time for YouTube, and the gamers, I agree 100% that if the developers of games would do a better job, like explain, like, you know, you get your little description on foregrip, it's like, it may decrease this, you know, it's like, what the hell does that mean, you know, like, they could obviously do a lot more to explain things, and it could make it a lot better, but at the same time, I think when you cite the games, not even just for, what I think it comes down to, it adds fun in, like, the customized screen. You have fun making your kits and stuff, but when you get in the game, I think having all these options makes it more complicated. Again, I have fun unlocking all
stuff. I love that.
But I think for gameplay, and I guess we have to it's like a hit or miss. I mean, it's like a scale, you know? It's like, it's fun in all this aspect, but I think in gameplay, it takes away a little bit, because you have all these different ranks with all these different guns, with all these different unlocks, and, you know, it's like, oh man, this gun's so good, but it's not good until you unlock all this stuff, so you have to play through it, and the people who have it, I really think it takes away from fairness. And Puppy, as you jump in, I'd like, do you guys in the chat, I mean, all these unlocks, do they, just for balance of a game, what do you think, beneficial or not?
Oh man, for balance of a game, well, you know, to some degree, it depends on how the developer does it. I mean, with Battlefield, I think they did a good job for the most part. I mean, I agree, you know, that a lot of the unlocks are kind of stale. You know, most of the time you see people running the same thing over and over and over again. You either sport an iron sight or, you know, a Cobra or any red dot sight or anything like that, you know, and then you either got your foregrip or your bipod. There's not a lot of choices most of the time. Even after weapon balancing, things like that, but that's besides the point. But like, all right, perfect example: AS Val extended mags. In my opinion, AS Val complete garbage until you have extended mags. But you have to put in the time with it.
MP7, same thing.
Yeah, and you MP7, same thing. You have to put in the time with it in order to make it actually worthwhile. And in those cases, I can see it, you know, because for whatever reason they made that like almost the last unlock for the gun.
They knew.
Which I think they really shouldn't have done. It should have been one of the first unlocks, just because that's, you know, it's kind of like they should have had the same mentality, you know, like when they gave you the M16, they gave it to you because it's the most balanced gun out there, you know, it's the most on par with everything. It's not really super strong at anything, but it's not super weak at anything. So why not do the same thing with the attachments, you know, and make sure that the gun is at its max potential as quickly as possible. Yeah. But in the same sense, you know, I feel like while I like and enjoy the customization and all the added stuff that's in there, I wish there would be something in there that would actually require a choice. I mean, you know, right now it's pretty much the same setup. I'm finding myself in close quarters. I mean, I know everyone was like, oh, run laser sight because you don't need heavy barrel. I still run heavy barrel in close quarters because I get more kills with it. You know, so many of the attachments are just useless on certain guns, you know, and I wish they would make everything a little bit more useful, you know. And it's not just that game in particular, you know. You can go to any of the Call of Duties and things like that where, you know, Black Ops, you got your flamethrower. How useful is that? Yeah, you know. I mean,
that was like the defib kill.
It was good. Yeah, it was good for trolling. It was good for trolling. But I mean, other than that, it was pointless. I mean, right. You know.
But I think they throw those things in there. A couple of those things for that reason. Yeah.
Well, see, and I can appreciate that. I really
you can. Captain Defib kill.
That's where it's at, man. But you know, but like Battlefield, they try to take this more serious note, and the only thing that I noticed that they really didn't take a serious note on was the defibs. You know, but they try to take a serious note on all this stuff, and they have all these attachments out there, and I see them trying to do something, but they're just it's not working. They just haven't got it down. I
think, like Scott's talking about, imbalance and balance. I think it all comes in how it's presented, and like you said, it's just BF3 is so terrible at it.
Yeah.
Black Ops was alright, but at least it wasn't wrong. So, like, I don't know if you guys played. I brought up before Black Art Retribution. You guys play that at all? And then the customization, literally in there, everything had numeric values, and you would like say you had a red dot sight on, and then you went to a hollow sight. You literally see the bar move right or left, like accuracy, this.
Yeah.
And you see right there numerically your long distance aiming is going to drop by this, and you know. It was great. I wish like Battlefield would have done something like that. I mean, I kind of enjoy the mystery and the research because I'm a guy that will research. But I think overall, like you slap just an attachment on and be like, all right, let me see what this does, and you could see literally the sliders move. And you're like, oh, okay. It was just so obvious and easy to read. I think it would have made the game a lot easier for people to grasp and stick around probably.
I'm fairly certain the reason they don't do that is because you see that. Like, oh, well, I know what it does. I don't need to go try it. And like Puppy said, run a heavy barrel in close quarters. Hey, if it works for you, great.
Right.
I think that's their justification. I don't agree with it, especially not to make it more available. But yeah,
that's sort of how I play.
The system that I hate is the vehicle one.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna. I don't think that needs any further explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, and it goes to balance, you know. Like I don't fly anyway, and I spent a long time not doing it. But if I want to try now, I mean, it's extremely difficult because I have like nothing unlocked, and it's even if I practice flying and have skills, if I can't lock on other people, you know, it really takes me. So I think it's fun and stuff. But I think for balance, a lot of people in the chat seem to actually think that it's balanced. Most of them are saying, and I think they're getting really into the attachments are balanced. But I think going into all these unlocks. Either fun, but I mean I had fun when I played Call of Duty 4, and it wasn't as many unlocks, and I had fun in these other games, and I think another issue is that like so we said, as you Time just mentioned, that Puppy said it. You know, go experience it. You know, see how it is. And I feel like that's how I played before. But when I went and looked up stats, I'd be like, oh crap. You know, I use the foregrip for this, and the foregrip really takes away from that. You know, I'd be like, wow. And I'd change it, and I might notice, okay, it was better. But just trial and error. I mean, there's so many combinations that it's hard. You know, and I feel like.
Oh yeah.
I have fun with it, and that's why I'm like, I said it's like this scale. Like, I have fun with all this stuff. It makes it exciting, and it keeps me involved, but at the same time, I think it takes away from gameplay. I think it hurts people who don't spend a lot of time doing research. And I think just unlocks in general, like not even with all the attachments. Go to Bad Company 2 where there wasn't as many attachments, or they didn't, I don't know, other games, having all these crazy unlocks, I think takes away from balance, but...
If you're asking me what I want more. I want to pick my ammo. I want to pick my... I mean, give me more. I can do more videos. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But,
you got the blacklight recognition system,
I really
right?
hated...
I'm going to go try that game.
I really hated Bad Company 2 because you were done so early. And it was just like you had nothing to look forward to. You know, and everybody was running the same stuff. And, you know, so... I know what you're saying. You're right. Like, we need to find a way to get the new players in and not get chased out because they're just... Like, I mean, again, Bad Company 2. If you didn't have Magnum ammo, you were just going to get destroyed. And, you know, but once you got Magnum ammo, I think it was like one more, and I can't remember what it was. It was body armor or something. Once you got those, like, mid-20s, you're done. I mean, there was nothing else. And so it's like there's got to be, like you keep saying, a balance between that where, you know, maybe it's not game-changing, but just give me different options. Give me, you know... And that's, I mean, I think there's going to be a game that comes across with, when they have COD Elite or Battlefield Premium, we thought it was going to be monthly drops of just either be it guns, attachments, just all these skins, all that, because, I mean, it's obvious people like that stuff. So, I mean, it's going to happen, so you should just get used to it.
It is obvious people like it. I don't know. I don't play for XP. I play to have fun in the game. So
I just want more options. I want more variables.
Someone mentioned, though, Team Fortress 2, and I think that's a pretty damn good example.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you played it, but the unlocks, you can get some crazy stuff, but it's not like insane. It's like you can unlock, I don't know, it's like weird. You get a ton of unlocks you can get, you know, all that stuff you can buy in boxes, but it's still like very, very, very basic. And I think those kind of games are the games that can withstand time, because I don't know, maybe people get caught up in like, oh, I want to play for the unlocks. Then when you're done, okay, I'm done. But like, look at Team Fortress 2. Look how long it's been around. And I don't know, maybe you could say because Valve is good at what they do and they promote it. Maybe they support it. They do. You know, maybe it's just because Valve, or maybe it's because I don't, you know, you have to, is it just because Valve does so well, or is it because the game is basic and does withstand? I think people still play COD 4 and find some hack things, but you go back to that because it's simple. I think like you can understand it, and I think those are the kind of games that can withstand. Where you see like Battlefield 3, all these crazy things that get a lot of hype and it's a lot of fun. I don't see this game being around another 6 months, and I think DICE is trying to with really delaying their DLC, but I don't think it's going to make it because I don't know. I never thought of it until I just saw the Team Fortress 2 post, but I think you go complicated, it gets a little crazy. So.
Well, if you go complicated and you don't balance it and don't support it, you get into trouble. You know, you know, Team Fortress 2 it's got thousands of patches, and it's a free-to-play game. It's insane. I mean, great job by them. Whereas Battlefield 3 has made how many, probably almost $1 billion at this point, and let's be honest, they don't support it. They don't support it. I mean, we're supposed to get excited about matches 8 months in, and I mean, matches are nothing without a battle recorder or a spectator mode. It's bells and whistles without any guts, and it's just, I don't know. If the only way Battlefield 3 survives, this is a total different topic, is if nothing else, if everything else fails. I mean, I love it. I'm still having fun, but God, they have sure milked it.
Alright. Uh-oh. We lost
he was drinking that drink for a while. I figured he was gone.
Oh, crap. Another issue. Okay, everyone shift your heads to fit in your own box. Oh, not gonna happen. Puppy's... Yeah, Puppy could.
I don't even know where my head is. I don't have the stream up.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
All right,
we're good.
We're good. Recovery. You got a revive. He's good.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so
I just thought you were enjoying that beverage for about 3 minutes.
Any final comments, whatever, on how we feel about ranks and unlocks in general throughout other games? How about, do we have a game that we think did it best, we like the system. My vote is going to be the Call of Duty. I think simple, like Team Fortress 2 is good, but I think Call of Duty, I don't think the attachments do quite as much. They're not as variable, but I like being able to pick what I can get. So for my vote, I haven't played that many multiplayer games. It's that. Do you guys have any, what you like best, or any closing comments?
I like a lot of. I think any game that as far as like EXP and anything they can throw out there, attachments, purchasing systems, anything that's in the meta game that really builds on the out of the game perspective is a huge benefit to me.
Yeah.
Now that said, though, I have to say that there is a point where it can be overdone. I mean, you look at some of the games that are out there that have. I mean, Gopher, I know you were kind of talking Blacklight up, but to me, Blacklight has too much. There's too much in it. You need to have a lot, but you don't need to have like basically an unlimited amount of stuff that's out there, because if there's too much, then you can't. It's like almost impossible to find what it is you want. But at the same time, there does need to be enough out there to keep it interesting. Like in my opinion, I think every game should have a lifespan of at least a year. And they should have enough content in there to keep people busy that long, if not longer. So,
well, I think that's what Battlefield's running into. Like everybody wants them to bring out more guns, but how many different? I mean, guns are numerical templates. That's all they are. Like how many different variations of that can you come up with? Where one gun's not the same as the other. They're kind of, like you said, there's a limit to how many different individual weapons you can come up with. Per class, I guess. Obviously you can change about the class, but
I'm still waiting on them to reskin that 44 mag and make it look like a Desert Eagle, man.
but that's what it is. It's just the reskin. I mean,
I'll
that's
take the reskin.
I know.
I will level that thing.
But I mean, that's the thing. That's why they only did 20 new guns with this whole premium. That's about as far as they can go. If not, they did a good job with this patch. I mean, I like these weapons, but like you said, Blacklight, obviously, they're trying to make money, so they're just throwing, they're throwing a huge net out there and seeing what they can catch money-wise. But there's definitely a line. But I think I probably prefer the Black Ops monetary kind of system. It gives more flexibility. I don't know. I want more unlocks. It keeps me entertained, keeps me going. I probably prefer the monetary, though, because it encourages you to play the game right. Like, it doesn't encourage you to lay prone with a 12 by optic, because that's the first thing you get with a FAMAS, and you have to lay prone or run around hipfire. It just kind of encourages bad play, whereas the monetary system, you can get MCOMs, you can get Conquest, you can revives, and then go spend that on what you want. So that's where I would lean, I think.
Oh, my favorite unlock system for a multiplayer game would have to be Guild Wars. You start off with a whole bunch of stuff. Anything you've touched on any of the accounts of any characters in the game, you have access to in multiplayer, not multiplayer, the player versus player competitive. And if you don't have that, you can buy it. For you play a couple games, you got enough.
Yeah.
So there are so many options that I still don't have everything unlocked. But if I saw something, I was like, oh, that looks good, I'll go try that. I've got enough essentially points ready that I can just go do it.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that one, yeah. You got a good point there, because I spent a lot of time on that one. I know most of the people in here probably haven't played it. Has anyone played Guild Wars in here? Come on, anybody? But no, that game, just as far as, like you said, unlock system, but it wasn't just unlocks, the abilities and everything too.
Yeah.
It was all really classy the way they did it, and I don't know. I appreciate that. I agree. I wish I had done it.
And their philosophy with player versus player was you should have access to everything you want. You can't equip everything, but you should have access to the best stuff. It's just how you use it.
Yeah.
I really like that philosophy.
Alrighty. Well, I think we've finished all the topics, so we can move into a quick little segment of questions. We've gone just about an hour. We're 15 minutes late because we started 15 minutes late. But so if you guys in the chat want to bring up any quick questions, comment on these. Maybe we missed your comment on any of these topics. If you want to drop them out now. I see a few people saying yes, they've played Guild Wars, or at least one person.
One person. Comment by Mortimer.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the whole? I mean, this is such a ridiculous the dinosaur thing. I mean, come on.
No.
Please be with me on this. I might have to unsub and leave if you don't.
Oh, so I should mention, I guess, for everyone, if you're Battlefieldo's Game Night, President's in here pumping it out. Yeah. And Puppy's going to be there on Xbox. Time will probably show up, and maybe Culprit will even come on the Xbox. Tuesday night, you can see on at 9:30 Eastern, there'll be Battlefielders Game Night on Xbox. We'll be playing on U.S. servers, and you'll be able to, on the Battlefielders stream, you'll be able to see it. So come play with us, have some fun on Xbox. It can be sort of like Ace Squad, but we'll bring
Come
more.
to Fib me. Come to Fib me.
Or we do like Puppy wants to do. Each of us on a squad deathmatch.
Well, I
team
think for the game night, the staff's probably going to team up, but that'll be. We'll come.
We still have to do that though.
Yeah, that'll come. Let's see. Do we have any?
Well, I was gonna say, what about the dinosaurs? How do you guys feel about the dinosaurs?
I tell you what, man. Me personally, like the dinosaurs. Holy cow! No, put it down. It's not. They're not throwing them in there. They're not. All right, look. The dinosaurs were.
So
like,
why are they stringing the kids along? This is so bad.
It's been an Easter egg for forever, and like because like DICE is one of those companies that's like notorious for throwing. Well, no, they actually throw in like legitimate Easter eggs. Like people knew about Battlefield 2142 like a year before it was announced, you know, and things like that, and they knew about all these games like way before they were announced. So, you know, DICE does tend to drop like little hints as to what they're working on next. You know, like they got the crates or whatever in Wake Island that say 2143, which makes me super excited. Yes! But, you know, as far as like dinosaurs go, man, that's just an Easter egg shout out to the campaign. You know?
President's in here saying dinosaurs is happening. He swore on his unborn child's life. So
are you serious?
We don't know to what extent dinosaurs are coming. I think... you know, I've really, honestly, never thought about it.
Watch.
I don't follow the rumor train at all. Like, I really don't get into it.
I don't want to. It's just Twitter is always there. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I read my Connect on Twitter. I'm on my Connect page, and that's about it. If you're not tweeting, tag me in a tweet.
We're not
I probably don't
as popular as you, though.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, I get so many. I just don't go on. But
I just hate the dinosaur. It so annoys me. Like it drives me nuts.
I mean,
but
if I see like
die.
If I see like a dinosaur, I don't know, statue and stuff, I'm good for it. But like playing against dinosaurs, I don't. Maybe it could be fun. I don't know. If it's like a zombie mode, it could be fun.
No,
I've never thought about it before. Honestly, until right now, I've never once thought about dinos at all. I just read them and laugh, move on. Yeah. But that'll be interesting. That's something I guess.
That is the last time we will talk about dinosaurs on this podcast.
Unless
it's an official announcement.
Yeah, unless it's announced. Yeah. All right. What do we got? Anything else going on? Armored Kill is going to be... I don't think any of us here are excited about Armored Kill.
Well, you guys are console guys. There's no way that works on console.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wow.
No.
Puppy,
I am excited.
Get out.
You know why I'm excited? I want to jump out of the AC-130.
That'll be fun for a month.
You don't jump out of it, though.
It's probably gonna be fun for a day. It's not even a month.
It's gonna be like the base jump.
Yes, but dude, I do the base jump every time I'm on the
ground. I think they said you don't spawn in the plane. I think they said you spawn in the air.
I'm not gonna lie. I do like base jumping every. That's fun. Yeah, it's still exciting. Okay.
If you're on defense, I will purposely lose that base just so we can go base jump.
I do enjoy base jumping.
Just let me do it.
That's probably because I don't get that far and rush on Damavan very often. Terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how the vehicle-on-vehicle pretty much exclusive gameplay works out.
Bad.
The tank thing that they got coming.
No, well, I want to see.
Bad.
Let's see how their balance works out when it's really that's all it is.
You know, it's going back to playstyle. You know, I think vehicles come into that, and we've talked a little bit. I like action, even though I don't think I'm a super aggressive player. I'm always sort of in the thick of things a little bit. Vehicle and console, that's why I haven't bought premium.
It's gonna be
I'm hoping somehow I'm gonna get one free through win a random draw or something. But I haven't bought Close Quarters yet. But I probably will this week if I don't get a premium code anywhere.
Not mine.
But yeah, that stuff. I'm not personally excited about Armored Warfare. I have little interest. I don't play vehicle maps already. If I probably would have appeal jumping out of an 8. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be fun. Like, it doesn't sound exciting to me now, but then when I think about Denver and Peak, I love base jumping every single time.
It's on rails too. That just kills it for me. If it was some guy flying around, it might be. I don't know. I have no interest in it.
I'm not gonna lie. The fact that it's on rails has me pissed off, and the main reason why is because, like, all right, a lot of people say, all right, well, it's this huge model, you know, and you can't move that around, and people are gonna be newbie and they're gonna crash it or whatever. But no, it is all right. have any of you guys actually played Battlefield 2142 out of this little trio here? Right. Anybody that's in the chat has, and they'll know what I'm talking about. There was Titans in Battlefield 2142, which were like massive, massive spaceships that were on the map, and you could fly them, you could move them, and they did it then. Why can't they do it now?
That was like mobile spawns, right?
It was
like a big mobile spawn station.
It was a gigantic spaceship. You
yeah,
flew
well, I knew, but it was like
gonna...
that was your spawn. It was like a big your home
yeah,
base.
home base.
Yeah.
I heard good things about it. I've never played that.
Yeah, everybody goes crazy for Titan mode.
Hell yeah, dude! It was amazing.
A lot
Best
of people.
game mode ever.
A lot of people seem to be excited about Armored Core. I think it is very popular. I think a lot of Battlefield players are big vehicle people, you know, and I think it's funny that we get a group.
Battlefield players are.
Huh?
I think the loudest Battlefield players are vehicle, you know, like are old school Battlefield guys. Yeah. I think when the time comes, it's gonna. Nah.
I just think, I think it's funny that we have, 4 people, and I guess Puppy's probably the most vehicle-oriented person here, but 4 of us who are, mainly infantry-focused, talking about Battlefield 3. But I guess it's a good dynamic because so many people are so vehicle-focused.
Yeah, I wonder what are the preferred loadouts for your tanks and jets and whatnot in that. Is there any variety there? I'm curious.
No.
I never even look at my loadout.
There's not.
Not even have any unlocked, I don't think.
With tanks and with things like that, there is a quote-unquote best setup, and beyond that, there's nothing else really worth using. I think with the helicopters, not the helicopters, the attack choppers, I should say, and be more specific. That's about the only thing where there is a little bit of variability because you have a co-pilot that you kind of have to guess who's going with what. But I mean, basically, like with your tanks, main gunner's going to be running typically either guided or the canister shell with the reactive, and then your passenger is going to be running proximity.
Proximity, right?
And that's almost
from YouTube videos, basically.
all you ever see. Yeah. And I mean, jets. It's honestly, I can't really talk on jets. I have, I think, 5 kills on a jet and 2 hours fly time. So.
Yeah, I've flown. I can fly. Like, I can fly everything. I just can't aim and kill. Like, I can get in the air and start flying. I can get low and not crash, but the minute you try to get me shooting at someone, I either it doesn't work.
It's going to be so bad.
I mean,
Armored Kill 64 player might be worth checking out, but even then, I just don't see how it's going to work on a console. I do not. So. Because, like, about Bad Company 2, they had good balance where it was a lot of vehicles, but there'd be those little pockets of a village that you had to fight on the ground with infantry, and it was a good blend. You're not going to be able to do that. I mean, what are you going to pull up, park your tank, and jump out and go fight on foot? Yeah. It's just not going to work. It's so... I don't know. Yeah. I just don't understand how they make it work.
Yeah, I always debate. Maybe if I was good, I'd do some more, but I think back to Bad Company 2, I was a pretty good pilot. Like, I could do strafe runs well. I could do... In Bad Company 2, like, it was pretty popular to do... I don't remember what it's called, but you just, like, go in a circle and...
Circle strafe.
Yeah, and you could just, like, spawn camp the crap out of them. I could do it. Like, I could do... But I never flew still. Like, and I was good then. I was good enough that I could, Atacama Desert, and people are mentioning it, but I just don't... I don't know. I have more fun. I have more fun on the ground. Sometimes I'll jump in a tank, but... Oh, well. There I go talking about myself again. MassNERDerer is fun. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think unless anyone got any final words, did we see any questions we want to wrap up?
Do you want to talk about the YouTube thing?
Well, I wasn't going to do it for this one. I think, we can mention that we're probably... someone actually mentioned in the beginning, and I guess just to finish it up, Culprit brought up this idea. We think it's pretty good. It's something I think everyone on YouTube gets questions about it. Yeah. So we're going to try to do like a... I don't know, either a special, we haven't completely decided, either like one night, sort of a special episode, or maybe some mini podcast spread out or something, where we're going to, actually my goal is to hopefully get on a few larger channels, and we'll discuss sort of for you guys who have mentioned, I think there's like 3 people who said they want to get into YouTube or they're starting it soon, maybe go through our experiences, our starts, how they've been. We've all had very different experiences with our startups, so we can talk about that. What have we learned? It'd be interesting for us to hear. And we'll get some of these bigger guys in. I think, it's going to be way different people who started a year ago, like MrTehPuppy himself. People starting 2 years ago. Puppy starting, months ago.
They're using VHS
crazy. Yeah. They had to, like, draw it. They drew pictures and held it up. Okay, so this is what happened. Here's the next picture.
Nintendo.
It's, things have changed a lot, so hopefully we can share our experiences and maybe our tips that we have with each of us and to you guys. So... I guess that's something if you want to, leave some messages on the YouTube videos, because here we're about to end up.
Questions or whatever, yeah.
Some questions for us, some ideas, opinions, whatever. Leave that kind of stuff, and we'd be happy to look into that and hopefully get that coming very soon for you guys. All right, anyone got anything else they want to say?
No.
Nope.
We about wrapped it up, man.
Yeah, I apologize, guys, for the delay in the start. We had some definitely a couple issues there, but it was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys all coming, all the viewers coming. It's been a good time, and you got people are still going on how much they love vehicles. So yeah, I always feel like a minority, but alrighty.
I know, I do too.
We'll see you guys later.
All right, guys, take care.